Hey everybody, it's Chris Schooker with Scott Johannes, and we're with Digital Horizons, and we're going to do a little behind the scenes video with you of a installation for some bathroom shades that we completed. Probably at this point it's been about a year or so. So yeah, why don't you give us a little insight to what's going on here?
This one was a little challenging because they wanted the shades on the sides as well as the front. As you can see here, we're kind of
Because they got side windows there. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and so there was a lot of preliminary measuring that went on prior to ordering the shades because it really,
How does it fit?
how is it going to fit?
Yeah.
How do we make it look like it's supposed to be there without the rollers interfering with each other and hiding the wires and everything? It was actually a lot more complicated than you would think it would be.
Yeah, this is like after all of the hard work has been done in planning.
Right. Yeah, this is just the install side, but even that, it took us the better part of a day to do it. It was quite a while.
So now these are a low voltage shade. So the wire that's poking out, I think it's a Cat 6, right?
Yep, Cat 6 driven. They run RS-485 from the shade motor down to a power supply
Which
distribution.
is the communication
Yeah,
and
how
power,
it
right?
how it talks back and forth with the control system. So,
And there's 5 individual shades, right?
correct.
So in our programming, you'll eventually see that they're all going up and down, but technically they could be raised and lowered individually
Right.
if needed. But where they're at, it's not really necessary.
Yeah.
But this was the way to do it versus a coupled system for the 3 middle ones because of this as a smaller footprint overall, right?
Right, and just getting the shade to match
Almost, yeah.
the vertical styles of the window there. If you do a coupled, you have a fixed width between the shade
Yep,
panels,
yep.
and you can't adjust that.
Right.
So we ended up with, as you can see, we're gonna have individual motors here to do it, but there will be a trim piece that goes across the front that makes it look like one big
Yeah.
shade.
Because it is
in the
one
end.
fascia piece, right?
It's one fascia piece
Yep.
for the front, and then the sides have shorter pieces that intersect, and it looks
So now-
like it's
It's all one piece,
all
yeah.
one system.
Now we ordered it as one piece, and then we had to trim it. But
Yep.
then did we just use the white, or did we custom paint this?
I think we ended up painting this we ended up painting it with the same color paint as what the trim is, and now the video makes it look like it's just straight up white, but it's kind of a milky creamy color. I
Yeah.
forget what the name of the color was, but when you hold up like a white wall plate to it or something, it's definitely not the
Clearly
same.
not like
Yeah.
white.
Right.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to put a plain white trim piece on there and then have all the wood all the way around it be a different
Stand
color.
out.
And yeah, we wanted
Yeah.
to make this really match and blend in.
Yep.
So
Yeah, the video doesn't do it justice. Yeah.
yeah, we had some trouble with the LED lights in there interfering with
Matching the frame rate of the
yeah.
camera, right?
So
Yeah.
that's the pulsing that you're
Yeah.
seeing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the side ones were probably the hardest because we have the overlap of the shade trim pieces and everything on the front side or the window side facing out,
Yep.
and so and we had to
Because you can't put if we put the outside corners of the shades in, it's going to push both of them away from the corner. Right. So we did the long one up the full width of the outside,
Right.
and then these are a little bit shorter for a
Right.
better overall coverage on the outside windows.
Right, and there's a little bit of gap that's exposed inside the corner that you can't see unless you're
Right.
actually sitting in the tub looking straight
Right.
out.
And if anybody were to be looking at it from the side, you just see basically straight through. There's no actual like reveal for privacy
No.
reasons.
No.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of covering up as much as we could and still making it look
Right.
the best we could.
Yep.
Now the trim, I'm actually up there cutting with a buzzsaw, cutting some of the actual trim out overlap so that end bracket can blend right into the
Got
trim.
it. Yep.
And after I got done cutting it, then Dustin was kind of handing me the paint brush and the paint, and we were
Touching it up.
touching it up before we put the bracket back on.
So
there
we
was
do
no
more than
exposure.
just install
We
all,
try
the,
to-
all the technology in a home.
Right.
We're
It's-
painters too.
It's the fine details that matter. So it's either we do it, or otherwise we do our thing, and then we have to have the painters come back and do their thing. And
Right.
this house was pretty much finished at this point. So
Yep.
and it takes a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So
It's not a big
I'd
deal.
rather have it a completely finished product when we walk away and go, here it is, it's done, it's delivered. You don't have to have somebody else come back. It makes people happier
Right.
that way.
Right. So the neat thing about these shades is now it's starting to come together. And if you're watching this video, you've seen the process, but when you walk into this room and it's just shades are up, they're in their fascia, they're all concealed away, it doesn't stand out that there's actually
You don't
shades
really
there.
notice it, no.
Yeah.
You get the full view all the way through glass.
Which is an amazing view.
Yeah, and that's what the homeowner wanted. There was the option of doing it this way, or there was an option of embedding the shades inside
Between the jambs.
And that would have been easier
Yep.
for us to do, but it would have taken up some of the window view, and that's what
Right.
they didn't want to do. So we went with this route, and it turned out pretty nice.
Now, I don't think we mentioned it, but these are Qmotion shades, right? And yeah, there's the final view.
Yep,
Turned out nice.
nice and clean.
Yeah, really clean, yeah. Well, we hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes insight into kind of the process of installing some motorized shades, and we will see you for the next one.